As she unveils her new look, 1,000-pound sisters star Tammy Slayton talks candidly about haters. She is proudly showing off her brand new grin, the most recent development in her amazing metamorphosis after losing almost 500 pounds. When the 39-year-old appeared on Tuesday's episode of the Creative Chaos podcast, she said that she had recently had dental work done to address long-standing issues with her teeth, which she had been the target of relentless mockery from online bullies. "Show me them chompers, girl," host Hunter Ezell teased as Tammy turned to the camera and flashed her new teeth in a big smile. Slayton explained that the process entailed receiving a dental bridge, a procedure that entails placing prosthetic teeth that are fixed between two pre-existing ones. They had to cement the artificial teeth in because the glue wasn't holding. "Well, my body was rejecting it." She also revealed that in order to make room for the bridge, several of her teeth had to be pulled, but she admitted that this was only the beginning of her dental makeover. "I'm still getting more done with it," she stated. Furthermore, it's a process. Ezell was keen to remark on Tammy's new appearance, and she appeared cheerful. When he remarked, "You've got new teeth," he said, "the people off your back. They're always going to be there," Tammy said. "Some of them. You ain't doing good in life if you don't have people who have something to say about you all the time," the podcast presenter then advised. In response, Slayton said, "Haters make me famous." The TV personality has never shied away from taking aim at anyone who make fun of her appearance. In January 2024, she responded directly to a TikTok remark telling her to fix them teeth. "With all due respect," she said in a now viral video, "I wish people like you would stop commenting crap like this. It is not helping my confidence." She continued, "Getting my teeth fixed costs money that I don't have right now. I was trying to keep my confidence boosted, and seeing comments about my chin or my teeth doesn't help." Tammy said, "I really wanted to tell you, if you had a true problem with my teeth, then pay for them yourself. But I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be rude." She acknowledged that she had to gather her thoughts before answering. She said, "It doesn't matter if I'm missing teeth. It's sad. Why hate? Why can't you just appreciate the hard work I've put in? Why can't you just appreciate that I'm still alive? Yes, I have flaws. I'm human." After reaching 700 pounds, she lost almost 200 pounds on her own before qualifying for weight loss surgery, which allowed her to reduce an additional 300 pounds. She ended with the audacious declaration, "I'm not going to let you or anyone else ruin my day." Get the most recent information on sports, entertainment, news, and lifestyle from our hardworking American staff. But Tammy Slayton, star of 1000 LB Sisters, has surprised fans with a surprising change and new smile. The reality personality, who has shed more than 225 pounds, showed off her new teeth on the Creative Chaos podcast. Tammy revealed that she had had a smile makeover at Aspen Dental just a week prior during her interview with host Hunter Ezell. Hunter said, "Show me them chompers, girl," as Tammy grinned toothily. "Congratulations, that's awesome." "They're temporary still," Slayton clarified by saying. "But they had to cement them in because the glue wasn't holding, they had to pull teeth, and it's a bridge. I'm still getting more done. It's a process." Tammy acknowledged that internet remarks about her once gappy smile used to hurt, even though she was thrilled with her new teeth. "I find it absolutely repulsive the amount of people that comment on your videos. When's she going to fix her teeth? Do you not think she knows that?" Hunter responded. In response, Tammy said, "It's not easy. It's not." Tammy also talked candidly about her relationship with fiancée Andrea Dalton throughout the program. Regarding her most recent birthday, Tammy mentioned that Andrea gave her a new ring and tickets to see American psychic Teresa Caputo as a surprise. Only a few months after their relationship became public, Tammy announced her engagement to girlfriend Andrea. Speaking on the Creative Chaos podcast in July, Tammy, 39, revealed the news. The host was interrupted when the reality star called Andrea her fiancée when discussing their relationship. Tammy held up her glittering engagement ring and flushed as she verified the wonderful news. And to Tammy's millions of followers who were unaware of her and Andrea's relationship until lately, even though it turns out that they had been dating for almost 3 years already. In a 1000 LB Sisters episode from season 7, Andrea described how she and Tammy met. I had just joined a dating app and wasn't using it for very long when I met Tammy. I saw her and she saw me, and we just started talking, and it's been like every day since. Andrea maintains the privacy of her own social media profiles and hasn't disclosed many details about her personal or professional life. The only glimpses fans have of Andrea are from Tammy's social media posts and the show. We only know that Andrea seems to bring Tammy a lot of joy. Everything about Andrea is lovely, Tammy remarked. I do have feelings for Andrea, but right now we're just taking things slow day by day. Tammy talks candidly about her ******. Tammy was worried that her family wouldn't approve of her dating a woman before she formally announced her relationship with Andrea. Tammy's relationship with Andrea was her first since her husband Caleb Willingham passed away in June 2023. The 38-year-old, who came out as pansexual in the past, revealed that she wanted to approach relationships in a different way. I simply don't want to be with a man anymore after Caleb's death, Tammy said to the cameras. Months after Caleb's death, in January 2024, Tammy gave her fans an update on her dating choices. I was saying I was pansexual, but I kinda stopped messing with guys after my husband passed, she stated in a video posted to TikTok. So, I'm like a lesbian. Tammy was thrilled about this new chapter, but she wasn't sure how her family would react to the news of her relationship. So, I haven't told my family, because my family's gonna have something to say about it, Tammy replied. I don't know how my family's gonna react when I tell them I'm seeing a woman. But Tammy's family embraced her new relationship almost once, and her older sisters, Amanda Halterman and Misty Wentworth, were particularly supportive. When Tammy broke the news, Misty informed her, "It don't matter to me." Amanda agreed, saying, "As long as she treats you well, I don't care." But for months, Tammy and Amy Slayton had been discussing this trip. The sisters have dreamed of visiting a place they had never been to before ever since Tammy's health improved, and she was able to walk more easily with the help of her mobility scooter. At the top of their list was London. At first, the thought of crossing the Atlantic seemed overwhelming. Passports, luggage, flights, and, of course, how to ensure their comfort and safety throughout the lengthy travel were just a few of the numerous considerations. However, before they even left Kentucky, Amy, being her typical vivacious self, turned it into an adventure. "You know the Queen resides there, don't you, girl?" While attempting to zip her luggage, which was stuffed full of clothing for every occasion, Amy taunted. "What if the royal family appears? I must look lovely." Tammy laughed and rolled her eyes. "The Queen has left, Amy. Don't make us look foolish in front of King Charles." As she adjusted the travel pillow she intended to bring on the plane, she laughed. They received support and preparation from their families. Amanda made sure their paperwork was in order as Chris took them to the shop to get last-minute trip necessities. Amy's small kid, Gage, was the most thrilled. He insisted that Big Ben was a real person. "Is Big Ben a gigantic man, Mama?" His eyes were wide as he asked. Amy laughed and gave him a hug while vowing to snap a ton of photos. Packing was its own comedic show. Amy packed her bag with mementos she intended to give away but would probably keep anyway, while Tammy insisted on packing snacks, just in case airplane food is nasty. Tammy once said, "I'm ready for Buckingham Palace," while donning a large floppy hat she had purchased for the London climate. The sisters gathered on the porch to gaze at the Kentucky sky the evening before the journey. Tammy acknowledged feeling anxious. "What if I can't manage the flight, Amy? What if it's excessive?" Her voice faltered, a mixture of dread and exhilaration. Amy grasped her hand. "Sis, we have experienced worse. This is not insignificant. Together, we will accomplish this, and once we are in London, we will create memories that will last a lifetime." Their journey formally started the following morning. Tammy and Amy checked in for their trip at the airport, their relatives waving goodbye. They were photographed and wished well by strangers who recognized them from the show. A few years before, Tammy would have been shy and self-conscious, but now she smiled proudly, knowing that she was going to do something she never would have imagined. Amy leaned down and muttered, "Next stop, London, baby," as they took their seats. Tammy chuckled while tightly gripping her passport. This vacation meant more than just sightseeing for the Slayton sisters. The fact that two sisters from Kentucky were leaving to discover a whole new world together was evidence of how far they had come. But on a sunny Monday morning, Amy and Tammy got up early, both of them aware that it was weigh-in day, a significant day. For months, the sisters had been putting forth a lot of effort, trying to exercise, altering their eating patterns, and encouraging one another to maintain their focus. Every weigh-in was nerve-wracking, but it was also an honest moment. Amy was feeling cautiously optimistic, having already shed a good deal of weight since beginning her trip. "I just hope the numbers show all the hard work I've been putting in," she said in a whisper as she put on her favorite floral shirt and examined herself in the mirror. In contrast, Tammy was more nervous. She had previously experienced setbacks, sometimes brought on by personal frustration and other times by physical problems. She had been doing better lately, though, and her determination surprised even herself. Tammy had begun taking brief walks outside in pleasant weather, and her caregiver had been assisting her in cooking better meals. The TLC production team prepared to record every unfiltered emotion by setting up the cameras in their living room. Dr. Smith, their physician, showed there with a warm but strong demeanor. He was not scared to hold the sisters accountable because he knew them well. He smiled and asked, "All right, girls, who wants to go first?" Amy offered to help. Her pulse pounding, she stepped up on the scale. After a brief moment of blinking, the number settled. Amy put her hands over her face and started crying joyfully. "Amy, you succeeded," Dr. Smith declared. "You've lost 20 more pounds." Tammy gave her sister a proud clap, and the crew cheered, filling the room. Amy said, "I didn't think I could do it, but I did," while laughing through her tears. "I want to be here for my boys, so this is for them." Next was Tammy's time. The room became silent. Grasping her walker for balance, she approached the scale gingerly. She stepped on, and everyone stared intently. Tammy averted her gaze for a moment, fearing disappointment. After flashing, the numerals ceased. A smile appeared on Dr. Smith's face as his eyes grew wide. "You've shed 30 pounds since your last visit, Tammy." The room was filled with applause and gasps. For the first time in a long time, Tammy allowed herself to smile proudly as her eyes began to water. "Are you serious?" she muttered, almost believing it. "Very serious," Dr. Smith answered. "At last, you're headed in the right direction." Amy ran over and gave her sister a strong embrace. "You see, Tammy, I said we could work this out. I'm very pleased with you." Tammy dried her tears and sniffed. "This time, I'm not going to give up. I'd like to survive. I wish to join you all here." One of the most poignant and impactful times of their journey thus far was the weigh-in. Both sisters experienced hope, true hope, that they were not just surviving but were at last on the path to thriving for the first time in years. The sisters sat hand in hand as the show came to an end. "This isn't just about the scale," Amy replied quietly. "It's about rediscovering who we are." And with sparkling eyes, Tammy nodded. "We haven't finished yet." But after years of struggling with health concerns, Amy eventually found herself at a turning point in the Slayton family, which had always been full of love, laughter, and mayhem. Her body had endured weight issues, surgeries, and the weariness of being a sisterly caregiver and a mother. "It's time to heal, not just my body but my heart too," Amy spoke to herself in the mirror for the first time in a long time. Her road to recovery started very simply. She had a cup of tea and went out into her tiny backyard every morning before the children woke up. As she closed her eyes and told herself, one step at a time, the crisp Kentucky air caressed her skin. It wasn't about being flawless or losing weight quickly. Rather, it was about recovering the aspects of herself that had been hidden by years of hardship. Tammy immediately noticed the change. One morning while lounging in her recliner, Tammy exclaimed, "Girl, what are you doing outside?" "Meditatin'." Amy chuckled and said, "Not yet, but maybe one day. You look like one of those yoga ladies." "I'm just relearning how to breathe." It wasn't easy to heal. Amy had days when her emotions boiled over and times when she wanted to give up. She occasionally sobbed herself to sleep due to the strain of motherhood, the worry that she might revert to her former behaviors, and the pressure of other people's opinions. The difference now, though, was that she wasn't crying by herself. Sitting next to her, Tammy, who had experienced her own difficult journey, would add, "Sis, healing ain't about being strong every day. It's about being there, even when you're not feeling well." They joined a local little support group together. When Amy finally opened out, people clapped and gave her hugs, despite her initial hesitancy. "You're proof that healing is possible," one woman said to her. "We are inspired by you." Amy felt lighter than she had in years when she returned home that evening. Healing started to permeate every aspect of her life gradually. She began preparing healthier meals for her youngsters as well as herself. She started keeping a notebook and writing letters to her younger self, expressing regret for the years she had neglected herself and vowing to be more mindful of the person she had grown into. Above all, Amy gained the ability to forgive herself. She came to see that mending the gaps in her spirit was more important than simply fixing her bodily ailments. She let go of her dread of failing again, her embarrassment at her mistakes, and her guilt from the past. A few months later, during a family reunion, Amy took the stage and spoke aloud from a piece she had written. "I once believed that healing entailed being fixed. However, I now understand that healing entails coming to love myself with all of my flaws and hardships. I'm no longer just getting by. I am alive." Tammy gave her a deep hug as the room filled with tears. "Amy, you have my admiration. We have this in common." Since then, Amy's journey of recovery has inspired thousands of others worldwide in addition to being her own story. She demonstrated that it's never too late to start over, even after suffering and years of hardship. But the unexpected news that Amy Slayton, one of the adored stars of TLC's popular reality show 1,000-Pound Sisters, had been arrested on drug-related charges rocked the small Kentucky community. Tammy, her family, and fans were all in shock. Viewers have been following Amy's life transformation for years, including her weight loss, motherhood, and quest for independence. It felt like everything was about to fall apart now. As stated by the fictional E! According to a news story, Amy was arrested because she was in the wrong location at the wrong time. During a police raid, she was discovered at a friend's residence. Although she denied any significant involvement, officials discovered tiny amounts of illegal narcotics in her possession. Hashtags like Pray for Amy and hashtag Justice for Amy trended overnight as the incident went viral on social media. However, there was a much more complex tale behind the headlines, a family getting ready to question Amy about her decisions. The intervention: the Slayton family got together in Tammy's living room 2 days following the arrest. This time, cameras were not permitted inside. This had nothing to do with the show, viewership, or fan conjecture. Amy needed to be saved. Sitting in her recliner, Tammy looked her sister in the eye while speaking with a surprising amount of strength. "I know you're better than this, girl. You put up too much of a fight to be brought down by anything like this. We cannot let you go." Amy revealed the truth while crying uncontrollably. She had resorted to drugs as a coping mechanism after her divorce and the strain of raising her 2 young sons. What began as a means of escaping swiftly turned into a risky situation. "You got 2 babies looking up to you," their brother Chris added, leaning forward. "Instead of being imprisoned, they need their mother clean. Amy, you must say yes in order for us to assist you." Although there was a lot of tension in the room, the love was stronger. Amy nodded slowly. "The last thing I want is to lose everything. I don't want my lads to go. I will. I'm going to rehab." The path back to recovery. Amy entered into a rehabilitation facility just outside of Louisville, according to news reports. The Slayton family felt that the facility was essential because it treated addiction and mental health issues. Amy's social media platforms were flooded with encouraging words from heartbroken yet sympathetic fans. In a rare and poignant video, Tammy even said, "Don't give up on my sister, everyone. Like the rest of us, she is human. She needs love, not hate, and she's waging a tough battle." Amy attended family sessions, group therapy, and counseling for weeks. She gradually started to recover from the years of suffering and self-doubt that had plagued her since she was a young child, in addition to the substance misuse. A second opportunity: when Amy left the recovery facility after 60 days, her family was waiting for her with welcoming arms. She appeared stronger, healthier, and more focused than before. Holding her kids close, she whispered, "This isn't the end of my story. This is only the beginning." TLC producers eventually alluded to the possibility of her rehab experience becoming a future 1,000-pound sisters plot, but for the time being, the emphasis was on healing rather than reality TV. Amy resolved never to let her kids or her followers witness her fall this way again, and the Slayton family pledged to support her. The arrest that had threatened to ruin her life ultimately served as the impetus for a significant change. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mina, and I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video.